In Hindu mythology, the Samudra Manthan, or churning of the ocean, is a profound and powerful story. It tells of a cosmic event in which the gods, the devas and demons, the asuras, unite to churn the ocean of milk in search of Amrita, the nectar of immortality. The myth is a striking allegory about the forces of creation, destruction and renewal. As the ocean is churned, treasures and dangers emerge, revealing the delicate balance between life-sustaining forces and chaotic, destructive ones. This story isn't just a Hindu tale, its themes echo across many cultures and are deeply rooted in the natural world. The Samudra Manthan begins with the devas and asuras in search of immortality. The Amrita, hidden deep within the ocean, is the prize they both seek. But instead of fighting directly, they decide to work together, realizing that only through cooperation can they succeed. They use Mount Mandara as the churning rod and the serpent Vasuki as the rope. Pulling on Vasuki from opposite ends, the churning begins. As the ocean swirls, miraculous substances emerge from the depths. Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth and prosperity, appears, bringing with her divine blessings. The moon rises, symbolizing time and cycles. The Kalpavriksha, the tree of wishes, and the Kaustuba gem, the most precious of jewels, also emerge, representing abundance and spiritual wealth. These treasures symbolize the divine forces that sustain life and bring prosperity to the universe. But as the churning continues, something terrifying begins to emerge from the depths. A deadly poison, hala hala, rises with the power to destroy everything in its path. The gods and demons are terrified, and they realize that no one can handle this poison. In a moment of crisis, Lord Shiva steps forward to save creation. He swallows the poison and his throat turns blue, earning him the name Neelkanth, or the blue-throated one. Shiva's act of swallowing the poison symbolizes the difficult balance between creation and destruction, where even the most dangerous forces must be controlled to preserve life. The myth of Samudra Manthan is not unique to Hinduism. Many cultures around the world have stories that mirror this cosmic struggle and transformation, showing that the themes of chaos and order, creation and destruction are universal. In Greek mythology, a similar story unfolds in the Titanomachy, the great battle between the Olympian gods and the Titans. The Titans, ancient beings who represent chaos, are defeated by the Olympians, led by Zeus. This battle results in the creation of a new world order, just as the churning of the ocean leads to the creation of divine treasures and the defeat of destructive forces. Like the Devas and Asuras in Samudra Manthan, the gods in Greek mythology work together to overcome chaos and establish a new order. In Mesopotamian mythology, the Enuma Elish describes the god Marduk's victory over the sea goddess Tiamat, who represents primordial chaos. After slaying Tiamat, Marduk uses her body to create the heavens and the earth. The theme of chaos transforming into order is central to both the Enuma Elish and the Samudra Manthan. In both myths, the defeat of a chaotic, destructive force results in the creation of life-sustaining elements, whether it's the world or divine treasures. In Norse mythology, creation also arises from destruction. The primordial giant Ymir is slain by the gods Odin, Vili and Ve, and his body is used to create the world. His flesh becomes the earth, his blood the seas, his bones the mountains, and his skull the sky. Just as in the Samudra Manthan, where life emerges from the churning of the ocean, Norse mythology teaches that the world is created through the destruction of chaos, bringing about a new cosmic order. In Polynesian mythology, the god Maui is said to have pulled the islands out of the sea. While not a literal churning, this myth reflects the idea that the ocean holds untapped potential, much like the ocean of milk in Samudra Manthan. Maui's act of fishing up the islands from the ocean is symbolic of how divine intervention can bring creation from the depths of the sea, just as treasures and poisons emerge from the ocean in the Hindu myth. In Native American mythology, the Iroquois and Navajo cultures share myths where creation emerges from water or chaos. In the Iroquois myth, the world is created on the back of a giant turtle after a great flood. Similarly, in Navajo beliefs, the first humans emerged from a watery underworld to create the earth above. These myths, like the Samudra Manthan, depict the ocean or water as a primordial source of both life and destruction. In Celtic mythology, the cauldron of Dagda represents abundance and life-giving power. It provides nourishment and wealth, similar to the treasures that emerge from the churning of the ocean. While the cauldron of Dagda isn't directly associated with the ocean, it embodies the idea that divine forces provide sustenance and prosperity, mirroring the themes in the Samudra Manthan, where life-sustaining treasures come from the depths. The Samudra Manthan, when viewed from a scientific perspective, can be understood as a metaphor for geological processes like volcanic eruptions and tectonic activity. Just as the churning of the ocean brings forth treasures and poison, the Earth's natural processes also produce both beneficial and harmful elements. Volcanic eruptions, for example, bring valuable minerals and fertile soil to the surface, but they also release toxic gases like sulfur dioxide and carbon dioxide, which can be harmful to life. The deadly poison hala hala in the myth mirrors these destructive forces of nature, while the Amrita, the nectar of immortality, symbolizes the life-sustaining resources like minerals, fertile land and water that come from these same volcanic eruptions. Additionally, tectonic subduction, the process where one tectonic plate slides beneath another, can be viewed as a churning of the Earth's crust. This process leads to the formation of mountain ranges, volcanic eruptions, and the emergence of new land, much like how the churning of the ocean results in the emergence of treasures and life-sustaining resources. The myth of Samudra Manthan is not just a story of gods and demons, but a profound allegory of creation, destruction, and renewal. The churning of the ocean brings forth both life-giving treasures and deadly poison, much like the forces of nature, which can be both nurturing and destructive. This myth, with its themes of cooperation, struggle, and balance, resonates deeply with similar myths around the world. From the Titanomachy in Greek mythology to the Enuma Elish in Mesopotamia, and from Norse creation myths to Polynesian and Native American traditions, just as Lord Shiva's sacrifice of swallowing the poison symbolizes the balance between creation and destruction, the churning of the ocean reminds us that the forces of nature must be respected and carefully managed. From a geological perspective, the myth parallels the natural cycles that shape our planet, where both life-sustaining resources and destructive forces emerge from the depths of the earth. Ultimately, the Samudra Manthan teaches us that creation and destruction are intertwined, and the balance between them is essential for the preservation of life.